What is going on, guys? Today I bring you another episode of the Journey to National Master. This game I played against Duarte Lima, which is a 1635 raid player. And this was a team competition. I was playing board 3 for my team, and I got the white pieces. So I start the game with e4. My opponent goes b6. And here I have to tell you guys that I was already very happy to see that he played b6. I was very confident in my chances against b6. I personally think that b6 is a really hard opening to play and honestly just bad. I tried myself to play some e6, b6, but on online blitz and stuff like that. But I always end up getting horrible positions, and I really like white in this type of opening. Here I go d4, bishop b7, and bishop d3. So yeah, this is the setup that I like, putting the bishop here. And after e6, knight c3, and when he pins my knight on c3, with bishop b4, I just play knight g on e2. And I really like this because, I mean, it's just natural. And if he ever wants to take on c3, I'll just take back with the knight, and he won't damage my structure or anything like that. So very, very nice. Here my opponent goes knight f6, and I just play a3. I just ask him a question. So do you want to retreat with the bishop to e7, or do you want to take on c3? Normally in this opening they always take on c3. So it just took. I took back with the knight, and my opponent goes d6. So I already am in love with my position. I just feel like I got a nice position out of the opening with the bishop pair, and yeah, I have no weakness on my structure or anything like that. So, just a simple advantage without doing much here. Here I go bishop g5, my opponent goes h6, bishop h4, and knight bd7 here. Here I could have castled. I or played f4, but honestly, I didn't want to castle because I didn't want to allow him to have a position with opposite side castling. I didn't really want to allow that because I like my edge as it is, and I don't want to create chances for both sides. I want to have just a stable advantage where I can just squeeze him. So I played queen e2, which is still a good move, kind of a waiting move, developing the queen, controlling this diagonal, and waiting for him to commit to either castling queen side or king side, and then I'll go along. He goes e5 here, which is a very good move, kind of putting pressure on the center. And here I played d5. Here the computer doesn't like d5, prefers me to just take here, and not really care about knight takes d5 here. Just says castle long or castle short or even f4, and kind of giving back the bishop pair. But I wanted to keep my bishop pair, and I wanted to restrict his pieces, so I just go d5 here. And my opponent goes a6. And here I play a move which the computer doesn't like, but I really liked the move. I felt like it was very annoying for my opponent, and a very nice idea. Here I go b4, which kind of looks weird to just push the pawn on b4, but there's a very clear point to it. I just really want to choke his pieces out and not let him have any space. I want all the space for me, and I want to be the one in charge. And here with b4, I just prevent the knight from coming to c5. And you may ask, what about a5? If you take, you give up c5. If you don't take, if you ignore, I'll take. You take back, the rook is pinned, GG. But here on a5, I was planning actually just castle. And now if he takes here, I just recapture, and it doesn't have anything. This pawn still here on b4 is preventing knight c5, which is very important. But the problem with b4 is that, my opponent can actually just completely, just punish this pawn move by playing knight f8, knight g6, and just shifting his knight over there, which I completely missed. But my pawn also missed that idea, and he just castled. I castled, and yeah, my pawn goes queen c8, which I didn't really understand. Okay, it's leaving. Yeah, I mean, it's dodging the pin here, but it just feels like very misplaced. The queen feels very awkward on a6. Maybe his idea was also to, play a5 and then put the bishop on a6 to trade or something like that, but I feel like this is very slow. And here I punished this queen c8 with a very nice idea, knight d1. It looks very weird, like what? Just developing the knight to d1. But yeah, the idea with knight d1 is that I want to go knight e3, knight f5. This square on f5 is very weak, and yeah, I want to take advantage of that and put my knight there. And here my pawn goes c6. And another advantage of bringing the knight back is that now on c6 I can play the very nice looking c4. Here c4 is very nice. My pawns are so well placed to counter these pieces, and it's just beautiful. I was very proud of the way that I was playing, and I was feeling very confident. Here my opponent goes g5, which is understandable. He was kind of frustrated with his position, you could tell, and he just wanted to create some counterplay, but g5 weakens his position a lot. Here I go bishop g3, and my opponent goes a5. He's just trying to get counterplay, but yeah, here I just go knight e3. Very nice. With g5 he also weakened f5 even more, so now there's no way to really protect the square on f5, and my knight will land there. And after queen c7, connecting the rooks and also adding some protection to d6, because I was kind of threatening to let's say you would play like something like this, very random move, rook h7. Here I was threatening knight f5, and knight f5 would not only attack d6 but also attack h6 with a fork. So yeah, my opponent goes queen c7. I still go knight f5 because I really want my knight there, and I put pressure on h6 still. And here my opponent goes king h7. Here I just play h4, which is very natural. I saw his king. All these pieces are on the queen side. His king is kind of alone here with this knight and this rook. And, my pieces are just perfectly placed to start an attack, and I just go h4. I don't care. And here my opponent plays a takes on b4. And I would like you, as you saw by the eval bar, there's kind of a sequence of brilliant moves that kind of give white just a winning position. Here I just recaptured on b4, very natural, but I want you guys to try to think for a bit here in this position and figure out combination of moves that give white a winning position. I want you guys to try to figure out the idea and the combinations, and write down in the comment section down below if you were able to find it. 85% of you guys that watch my videos aren't subscribed. If you enjoyed the videos, I would highly appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into the video. So yeah, the idea here, it's kind of deep, honestly, and I don't really fault me for not seeing. It starts with just completely ignoring this pawn on b4 and taking on g5. And here, you're black. You're probably gonna capture this pawn, right? Because what else? You're not gonna just give away the knight. So you take this pawn, and now the first move of the combination is queen e3. Very simple, just looks simple, with the idea of capturing on g5. Here, let's say black does the natural king g6, you know. And what do you got? Like, okay, you're probably gonna capture back on b4, right? No. Here there's this insane idea with bishop h4. Very, very nice move. Of course, you can't capture here because there's mate on h6, but and you're also threatening to come here on g5 and deliver mate on g7. So here you have to defend g5. What is the only way to defend g5? Knight h7. And it feels like black just held everything together by the skin of his teeth. But here there's another brilliant move. And it's just incredible. Like here, the amazing queen h3. This is so insane. So insane. Such an insane move. And the point behind queen h3, let's say you just take on h4. Normally there's queen h4, just this simple recapture, and there's no way to stop mate. Like this king is just getting mated no matter what you do. Here of course the threat is just queen h6 mate, and if you try to run with f6, there's queen h6 check, and after king f7 only move, queen takes h7, king e8, and mate here on e7. Crazy move. So yeah, if you don't take the bishop, and let's say you do just a normal and natural looking move like rook h8, which the engine suggests, here the computer just wants to keep the game going normally with 8 takes b4. And I mean, this is just crazy. Like what is going on? Can you just let the bishop be there hanging forever? Here, like, I mean, for me the natural move would be, let's say, rook takes on a1. But here you're already completely lost. With bishop g3, just ignoring the rook completely, and let's say you take the rook, you just took 2 rooks for a rook, king f1, and there's no way to stop mate again. This is crazy. If you move the knight, like let's say knight f6, here I just take your rook and I'm threatening just queen g7, so there's nothing. And if you don't do nothing, I mean, if you try to run away with the king, you can't because it's still mate. And yeah, there's nothing here. Like, you're gonna get mated. So this is actually the deep idea here, to bring the bishop to h4, then put the queen on h3, slide the bishop back because he can never take that or he gets mated, and then like just Jesus, and then just deliver mate. And here, I mean, what if, let's try something else. Let's try to run away with the king to f6, for example. Rook takes h8, rook takes a8, sorry, and let's say rook recaptures, bishop g5 check, bishop takes g5 check. It doesn't really matter whatever you take, it's always mate here. Like, it's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, I've never seen a combination like this that is just so insane. Like, this idea with the knight on f5 and the queen infiltrating on h6, like, everything is perfectly placed, and it's such a brilliant mating net. And yeah, I'm just gonna go back and let's just follow an engine line that says like +6. So the best defense for black would result in here rook h8, and after a takes on b4, the computer wants queen d8. Like, this is actually a complex position that the computer doesn't even, it can't even decide on what's the best move. It's always changing. But yeah, here just wants rook takes on a8, bishop takes on a8, and knight takes on d6, and just start collecting. And like, it's crazy. You can never like take this. You can never take the bishop. The bishop is just immortal. like queen f5 check, let's say king h6, and knight takes f7 with the fork. And if you go to g7, you're getting just mated again, and it's crazy. Like, it's absolutely crazy. This is such a nice position. It's such a good way to try to practice your tactics. And let's go back to the game. Of course, I didn't see any of this. I mean, bro, like, I don't know. I never seen this type of tactics like in a game of mine. They like, it's mind blowing. But yeah, I'm sorry guys. I really had to show you all of this. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video because this game was actually insane, full of tactical opportunities, and I just had to show you guys this. I hope you are enjoying this game, because honestly, like, this is as good as it gets with games from me. Honestly, like, this game is insane. So yeah, I take back on b4, and my opponent goes c5. I keep the position closed with b5 here, which again, it's a mistake, and the computer is gonna say that it's like a lot of mistakes because the computer sees this old like tactical sequence that we just saw. So the computer is like, you guys are so stupid, like, what are you doing? Like, bro, just this tactic is here, like, what are you guys doing? And of course, we both didn't see any of this. So yeah, here my opponent plays rook on a5, and again, there's like the same ideas, and I'm gonna show you. Like, the computer says +9, and the computer just wants to kind of go back into that tactical sequence with, okay, rook takes on a5, and after recapture, you take on g5. Let's say you take back on g5, queen e3, and we just go back to this thing with bishop h4, and it's just the same. Like, it's literally just this. This is beautiful. So yeah, we're gonna ignore the fact that the computer says that I'm completely winning. We already know why, and we already know that we both didn't see any of this. And yeah, rook a5. I took on g5. But after takes on g5 here, I played queen d2. So I kind of had, I was looking at that side of the board, of course, but I didn't see any of the ideas with bishop h4, anything like that. Actually, I didn't play queen e3 here because I was afraid that in some variations, after, for example, he protects the pawn, that I would get hit with knight g4, and I would have to go back to d2. So I thought, okay, I might just go to d2 straight away. Also, you know, putting pressure here, and yeah, I still liked my position a lot. I felt like I still had a pretty good attack going. And after king g6, I looked a lot at knight e7 here, but I just couldn't see anything, and I didn't want to go like knight e7, knight c6. That would just be like horrible, because what is my knight doing on c6? So yeah, here I just play rook takes on a5, and after b takes on a5, I play my rook to a1. I was kind of, okay, I want to put pressure on both sides of the board. That was my idea. Of course, I'm still keeping an eye on his really weakened king, but I want to put pressure on the queen side, so he has to defend the queen side, and then I can go back into the king side once he's tied up defending the queen side. So I wanted to play on both sides of the board, and my opponent, of course, plays rook a8, defending a5. And here, I want you guys to pause the video again. There's another tactic, which I mean, okay, we saw bishop h4, but here after knight h7, there's no more queen h3, so that is not tactic, okay guys? There's no more queen h3 ideas, so you have to find another way to win in this position. And yeah, there's pretty much one way to win, and you're completely winning. I want you guys to pause the video again and try to figure it out, and give me the variation that you calculated in the comment section down below if you want. So yeah, let's go. What is the move here? The move is f4. Boom, 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 bro. F4, bro. I'm so excited. Like, actually, this is my favorite game of the series so far. Just insane. And after f4 is pretty much it's pretty much over. There's really nothing he can do. Let's say just does the natural taking on f4 and asking my bishop what do you want to do, and my bishop says I don't care, I'm taking the pawn on f4. And after pawn takes bishop, just queen f4, and yeah, it's just gonna be mate. There's nothing you can do again. Like, you're just in a mating net. There's nothing you can do on the spot. And here after f4, like the best move for black to hold some resistance is knight h5, which looks actually very good resource. And after f takes on g5, knight takes on g3, knight takes on g3. But here, yeah, you can try queen d8, but just switching everything to the king side. Here you may ask after rook f1, but okay, you just take on g5. Black just takes on g5, material is equal, and yeah, like there's no attack. What can you do? Are you gonna trade queens? If you trade queens, like, I can hold. Can you really hold? If black thinks that way, is in very bad shape. You take on g5 and you stare at your opponent very hard and you say, I don't care, I don't need queens to mate you. And after king and g5, rook takes on f7. If you move the knight somewhere, you're gonna lose the bishop, so you play rook d8 to protect the knight, right? But you're getting mated. Rook g7 and it's mating too. Unbelievable. Knight f4, king f2, and knight h5 is coming with mate. It's incredible. And I played f3, which is kind of a bad move, because, you know, if you have a win, why are you not playing it? But yeah, my idea with f3 was to stop knight g4 and maybe play something like king f2 and bring the rook onto the king side, something like that. I was still trying to find something, and yeah, it was tough. I really felt like there was something, but I just couldn't piece everything together here. Here my opponent goes knight h5, attacking my bishop, and I just go bishop h4, which is cute, but it is cute, but it's nothing but cute. It's just cute. Of course, you can't take here because there's mate on h6, but of course my opponent saw this and he played f6, and now I have to go back to e1. So I just gave my opponent a free move with bishop h4, which was definitely bad. He just played f6, and yeah, that just actually helps him. So yeah, here my opponent goes knight f4, really trying to just go inside my position and gain some initiative, and I play bishop f1, keeping both my bishops. But now you can see that my position is way more passive than it was a few moves ago. And here my opponent plays a4, and there's actually a winning tactic here, which is way easier than any tactic we just saw. And spoiler alert, I didn't find the tactic. I almost found it. I found the idea, but I didn't find the right execution. But I want you guys to try to, you don't have to write in the comments this one, just think for a bit. This one is actually not that hard. Here I go for the correct move, g3, and this knight is running out of squares. This knight went way too deep into my position, and now it can't come back, because after knight h5, which was played in the game, here there was just a simple win with queen h2, and this knight is lost. You can't save the knight. And you might say, but what do you mean you can't save the knight? Rook h8 saves the knight. But now g4. And if this knight moves, this rook is falling. I found this idea. I played g3, but after knight h5, I didn't find this idea with queen h2 and then g4. Here I played what I thought was also winning, but it isn't. I played g4, which is a huge missed win, a huge blunder, because I thought that, okay, if he goes here on g3, I just take. It's a free knight. And if he goes on f4, I have queen h2 with the same idea of coming to h6, mating him, and yeah, he can protect with rook h8. But here I completely missed, crazy, I missed knight g7, which just protects everything. And oh my god, this actually, it's the, yeah, this is the, this was really like bad. I mean, you can't, if I want to become a better player, man, I have to work on my tactics so much. My tactics are so bad, bro. But yeah, here I play queen h2, but it's too late to do any damage. Here just knight takes on f5. Here I give a check before recapturing the knight, and I recapture with the g pawn. And yeah, I mean, here I still thought that I had some pressure, but it just gets in time to defend here. Knight f8. I go rook a3. Here I was also getting kind of scared of his a pawn here, rolling down the board. So I just wanted to stop. I really wanted to stop his a pawn here. Honestly, mentally, I was frustrated because I knew that I just blew the advantage, and you know, I mean, after getting such a winning position and then just screwing it up, it's really hard to come back from it during the game. Here my opponent goes queen f7, offering a trade of queens. Of course, I don't want to trade queens. Played queen g4. Here my opponent goes knight d7. I go bishop d3. I play bishop d3. My opponent goes knight b6. I go bishop d2. And my opponent goes king f8. Just running away with the king, and I'm like, no, don't go king, please stay on the king side. But here after king f8, I go queen g2, going back with the queen, and after king e7 here, king f2, you know, also I realized that he's gonna get some counterplay on the h file, so I want to bring my king into the middle where it's safer. Here my opponent goes queen h5, pressuring the h file and also f3, and here I just play rook a1, you know. Okay, let's go back. Surprised me with a3, and a3, we were starting to get low on the clock. I would say like 10 minutes for both of us, so we were definitely like starting to get like time pressure, and here it was a very important decision. a3, he just played a3, and here I calculated and I saw that I had rook h1, and this kind of looks like that it is a big blunder, and it looks like a blunder because it just looks like my opponent can actually queen a2. Of course, I'm not gonna go back to a1, that would just be horrible. I went on h1 to say that I can take the queen, and it just looks like it doesn't work, because after this, I mean, okay, we traded queens, he promoted his pawn into a queen, very weird position, and yeah, it just looks like he's gonna play something like rook a2, queen d1, and just obliterate my king. But here actually there's this insane move, bishop g5, sacrificing the bishop to get in with the queen. Of course you wouldn't take here, because that would just be suicide here. Like, of course, I don't have to tell you guys this, but here it just looks like, okay, what about like rook a2 coming in and also threatening mate and stuff. Just bishop e2, and there's actually no useful checks. Let's say queen d4 here check. Actually, bishop e3 just ends the game because I'm infiltrating, and yeah, kind of crazy. But my opponent calculated this as well, and he realized that a2 didn't work, so he played queen f7. Very nice move. And I just play bishop c3, and here I was okay. Like, I'm still like, this is so complex. I'm still holding. I'm gonna put my bishop on a1, just covering this square this way, and just play some defense. And this was very chaotic, definitely. We were also the last game of the night, so basically the result of our game defined if our teams would win, lose, or draw. Crazy. Here at this point I had no idea about the situation between which team was winning and all of that. I didn't know. I was just playing for a win still and just playing the match. Here after bishop c3, my opponent gets very confident, and this is very important. My opponent gets really confident because he plays knight a4. I play bishop a1, and it immediately blitzes out knight b2, which is actually a mistake. And I play bishop e2, and my opponent goes rook a4. And yeah, he was just very, very confident. You can see in your opponent, if you pay attention, his body language, his posture, the way he just presses the clock, the way he moves his pieces. And yeah, my opponent was actually very, very excited. But actually this is a mistake, as you can see by the computer. Actually gives me the advantage back here. I think I find kind of the idea, but not so much here. The computer, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna go over it again deeply, but f4, the computer just wants f4. That is crazy. Yeah, the computer just wants f4, and let's say you take here, for example, rook h6, and it says that white is winning. But here I actually just play rook h8, which is not as good, but it has a very nasty idea. Let's say my opponent just takes on c4 like nothing is going on. Queen h1, and I'm threatening this. And there's no way to stop this because the king can't go back. So yeah, after rook h8, my opponent goes back with the rook to a8, and now I regain some confidence. He loses some confidence because, you know, like, he has to admit his mistake with rook a4, and here I played queen h2, which apparently is like a blunder because it allows him to trade rooks. And here, yeah, I mean, I saw this position and I saw that he could pretty much almost like just not force the trade of queens, but here if I wanted to keep playing on, I would probably have to go back to h1 or something like that, and he would get counterplay of his own. So, but yeah, we were really nervous and we really didn't know what was going on. And after queen h2, of course I'm threatening rook h7. He plays rook g8, which is kind of weird. It stops rook h7, but you could also just stop it by trading rooks. And here I play queen h6, kind of, you know, just asking what's up, like, what's up, and threatening rook h7, of course. And here my opponent plays rook g7, which is a huge blunder. And the idea with rook g7 is to stop rook h7, but my opponent completely missed my next move, which I saw. Finally, I saw a tactic in this game when it mattered. I play rook b8 and game over. There's nothing you can actually do. There's no way to protect this bishop. The king can't go into the 8th rank, and yeah, I mean, you can try rook h7, but you'll see that like it doesn't work, because I just take and then take the bishop and take your queen. Here my opponent desperately sacked the bishop. I just took the bishop on d5, and after rook h7, just the very nice queen h7, queen takes h7, queen takes h7, and rook b7 check, king d8, rook takes on h7. Here my opponent still tried c4 out of inertia, but I just said nope, I don't want to calculate. I'm gonna sack back the bishop, and he resigned, and this was the game. Oh my god, this game was definitely the most tactical, insane game that I've ever played. Yeah, I mean, I'm exhausted just from analyzing this with you guys, and yeah, I'm very happy that I won. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Just looking at this game just makes me excited and makes me actually want to work on my tactics, because I want to be able to land these insane moves. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. This was a very, very long video, but I think it was worth your time, hopefully. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.